Today is October 3rd, 2007, and this is Sarah with Julie and Dolphin, and we're in their room where they sleep and doing a read off of some white paper, and then we're going to do an interview, and Julie's eyes are hurting, so they may be closed quite a bit during the interview. I'm going to ask some questions that we've asked before, and then just talk about whatever you feel comfortable saying, and we'll just go on to another question and another question. And we'll stop in about a half hour. I just want to make sure this can work with everything here. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. So, do you think of your life in terms of before and after you could communicate?
Yes.
And what was it like before you could communicate?
Not good. Not good. It was no choices. Like an animal. So, kind of, somewhat.
Did you feel like an animal inside, outside, or both?
Inside, outside. Inside where?
In your mind and your feelings?
I was like an animal in the way that I was instinctive or primal. This, but I felt like I had more common with the dogs.
How did people treat you before you could communicate?
I was retarded then. Yeah. Like retarded. Like CONDESCENDING.
Condescending.
Yes.
What was it like at home?
Better. Better.
What was it like? How was it better? What was it like to be with people you knew versus strangers before you could communicate?
Everyone was used to each other.
And how did
you didn't do nothing wrong until you were outside.
How do you mean?
Like if I did something at home, it was okay, but if I did something outside in front of people, then it was not okay.
And who was it not okay for?
My mom. And other people that we're used to.
So, were you being given a message that your behavior was okay sometimes, but not okay other times?
Yes.
And so how did people you knew treat you? say, did they treat you the same at home as in public?
No.
What would be some different ways they might treat you in public?
Embarrassed.
How did you know they were embarrassed? Did their voice or smell or other things change with them or stay the same? Or what was your way of knowing? Did they just say it literally, I am embarrassed about you, or did they?
Yes, my sister.
Your sister would say, I am
embarrassed.
And what would your mom say? Or what would she do if she didn't say something?
She would get upset at my sister.
How did strangers treat you when you could not communicate?
Like I had no understanding. Yeah.
Did you feel visible or invisible?
Invisible.
What could someone do, what would a stranger do that helped make you feel invisible?
They talked like I wasn't there.
So if they're talking, they were talking to somebody else, but not to you?
Yes.
And why? I'm going to switch to a different topic here. I wanted to talk, if it's okay, a little bit about stimming, which would be things like if you're biting your hand or doing movements that are repetitive. And we had talked, when I first met you, you had talked about that you sometimes in the past would do things like bite or tear or eat your hair, and now you do things with biting or eating your fingers or your feet. And can you help for a typical person to talk about why?
Calming.
And if so stimming helps you calm down, and why do you no longer do other stims, or why have you sometimes changed stims in your life?
Negative attention that might hurt me.
Can you give an example?
People calling the police and or ending up in Baker acted or the police testing me for drugs.
What kind of a stim would make police or typical people react that way? Because right now your stim looks very calm.
It's strange because when you need the stim most, it's usually at a time when you're not supposed to do it. Like when you're most nervous.
Is there anything besides being nervous that might make you want to stim?
Happy.
Anything else?
Right here.
Would anything with health problems make a person want to stim?
Yeah. Like headache or
What is more for stimming? Intense feelings or mild feelings?
anything.
So mild and intense?
Yes.
If you are feeling intense feelings, what would stimming help to do? Would it make your feelings more intense or more calm?
I don't know. It's more like you smile when you're happy, or laugh, or you cough when your throat scratches. It's like it's sometimes you don't think about it. It just happens and you don't notice, or until.
If somebody somehow had a machine or something where they could make it so your body could not stim at all, would you have no feelings or more feelings?
I don't understand. A machine that will...
If there was a device or a machine or something that could make you stop stimming, like you just, even if you wanted to stim, you physically could not stim, would it make you have no feelings, more feelings, less feelings, or something else? If there was somebody more feelings, and would they be good feelings or bad feelings?
Bad.
Were there ways that you communicated before talking or typing?
Yes.
Can you explain some of the ways you would communicate?
A lot of it nonverbal.
And what would be what would be something nonverbal that you would do for communication?
Like the dolphin, she has a lot of nonverbal communication, and it's different than typical nonverbal communication.
What would typical, can you say something like what would a typical person do for nonverbal communication?
It's like we had nonverbal communication, just like different languages of it. This be so like.
Well, today Dolphin was
everybody speaking one nonverbal. And I had nonverbal communication, but nobody spoke it.
Can you, if something was really bugging you and you were nonverbal, other than stimming, what might be a nonverbal thing you would do to let someone know they were really irritating you?
Bite them.
Would that be part of your nonverbal communication then?
Somewhat.
What would be, but I would know, if you bit me, I would at least know something was bothering you. I might not know what, but I would know something wasn't right. But what might be, let's say, if someone gave you food that you hated the taste of it, what could be a nonverbal way to communicate when you were nonverbal or not typing?
I spit it out.
And what did typical people do that made you think they were not understanding?
Not understanding that.
You said that there was some parts of your nonverbal communication nobody typical could understand.
No.
What if you found something interesting and you liked it? How could you show that if you had no typing or words? Would that be part of the language nonverbal language they couldn't understand?
Yeah, I would pay attention to it. Maybe too much, or I would move next to something that I moved around. I moved around something.
But a typical person might not understand that if you were moving around something, that meant you were interested in it.
Yes, or like, and I didn't like direct approaches sometimes.
What would be so a typical person can understand, what would be a direct approach?
Okay. If I said hi, I needed to ease up on, like ease up, like that's like the song Ease Up On It, like that's like, it's a song.
You were telling me how autistic people greet each other.
Some of us, yeah, like we float around each other.
That would be a way to say, I'm interested, hello, yes. I'm not going to overwhelm you right away.
Yes, like sideways, like a circle, and non-confrontational. Many people could come off as confrontational. I get good rhythm.
With so if I were I am a typical person, so if I met somebody autistic for the first time, what would they, if they felt that maybe I'm okay to check out, what would they maybe do if they couldn't type or talk to show me that they maybe want to start to get to know me? What would their behavior be?
It would depend on what kind they are.
Mm-hmm. Well, what if you mentioned that there are different physical characteristics to different autistic people?
Yeah.
So why not give me, like, say, a characteristic and what that person would do? Like, what would Dove's or Dolphin's physical characteristic be? What would what would someone like Dolphin's physical characteristic be, and then what would that mean they probably would do if they wanted to be friendly and start to let someone know they like to meet them?
Dolphins will approach people and stand next to them.
And what is her primary, like, you were telling me that one physical characteristic has to do maybe with head shape or size? Like Dolphin's head is one size and another autistic type has a different size head?
Oh, that I thought that I felt was like if they had the small head, it was more like they had more medical issues.
Okay. And